Onboard air today inside my fender well here, or spare tire well. There's like a little ridge down here. I don't know if you can tell that it's lower there. So what I did is I went and cut a board out, kind of traced the shape, got it to go back here. So I got a bracket there and a bracket here that allows it to attach to the inside spare well. And then to the board, I continued using the rubber feet that were part of the compressor, but I went and used screws through them to kind of pinch it in to that board. So it shouldn't really move around. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than just anything sitting back here. So these have the rubber isolators. I have some like foamy stuff under here, so take some of the weight off. And then these brackets to make sure that it won't slide back and forth anymore. Over here, I tapped the compressor today because it has some kind of metric or proprietary thread in the head to begin with. So I tapped it to a 1/4 inch. That allowed me to fit a new T in there and add the pressure switch. The pressure switch is a 40 psi off, 10 psi on. I have my relay mounted over here. I've set it up so that I can run it in 2 modes, either with the pressure switch or just on live. I don't know that I'll always want to top out at 40 psi. So I set it up to do 40 psi, thinking that that's pretty close to what I fill up my tires to after I get off the trail, after I deflate air down. Normally I run about 18 on the trails if I'm deflating. And then, you know, around town I usually get back up to about 38 psi. So far, what I've seen with this 40 psi switch is that it actually is capping out around 33 psi. No big deal. You know, being that this isn't a daily vehicle for me, 33 psi is sufficient to get around. So let's give you a demonstration of how it works. Over here, got my switch panel, voltmeter. I've got a solar panel. I think you may have seen the other battery down there. Two switches for the compressor. This one will just turn it on, and this one will turn it on with the pressure switch. So I'll kick it on, turns on for a quick second, hits that 40 psi really quick because there's no air tank. But if I turn this one on, it'll just keep going. So no switch on that one, just in case I ever want to get more than 40 psi. And where's this going to? Well, back here by the hitch, I went ahead and installed a chuck. This way I can just have one hose that I pull around and air up all 4 of my tires with. There's the hose. So the way that it's going to work for me is I've got a thread on tip here. So this will thread onto the tip of my tire. Let me get that in there for you. And so when I turn on the pressure switch, it'll fill it up to 40 psi and turn it off. Since there's nothing to really stop the air from coming out when it's connected, as soon as I disconnect it, it should go down to 0 psi, which will kick on the pressure switch and start filling up again until it hits 40 psi again, or what it's actually turning out to be about 33 psi, which again I'm okay with. So pretty simple install. Kept it simple. I went through as many different part configurations as I could think of. Got a couple things from Home Depot, a couple things from Harbor Freight, and in the end I think it's gonna work. It's, you know, not the prettiest wiring solution, but you know what, it gets the job done. I have lots of fuses and different things in here, relays, to make sure that, you know, even though it's ugly, it should be safe. All the connections seem to be doing okay, and as of right now, doing all right.